Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Boss Talk. Y'all know it's Wednesday. Time's a little bit different, but it is still Wednesday and it is time for Boss Talk LA. Boss Talk with Shonda. Boss Talk with Shonda. It's time. Boss Talk with Shonda. Sensational superstar.
Whoa, one of a kind.
Boss Talk with Shonda. Boss Talk with Shonda. Boss Talk with Shonda. Sensational superstar.
Whoa, one of a kind.
Boss Talk. Boss Talk. Boss Talk. Sensational superstar. Boss Talk. Boss Talk with Shonda. 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 It's time for Shonda. Boss Talk. All right. Hello, hello, hello out there. Welcome to Boss Talk LA. It is Wednesdays, and we are here today at a different time because my husband, William Kirby Seals, is joining tonight. And so he has a new schedule, and so he's actually home. And so we decided to do it at this time so that you all could communicate with us both. So welcome to Boss Talk LA. So who's out there? Where are you out there from? Where are you watching from? Please put that on in the chat. Turn your phone off, honey. So we are back from our honeymoon in Bali. Some of you may have seen this show where we pre-recorded ourselves from Bali Airport in Singapore. From the airport in Singapore on the way back from Bali, I should say. And we did our show and put it up. And at the time that it actually aired is the time that we took off to fly back to the United States last Thursday. So we've been back almost a week tomorrow. And we are trying to figure out life after Bali, after a beautiful, amazing wedding, after a honeymoon that was magnificent. And here we are starting our married life in the real world. So we thought we'd come on and just talk a little bit about that. And if you know some couples who are out there who might need to hear some couple talk, give them a message and send them and bring them on to the show. And let them know what we're doing here tonight. So take some time, let some folks know to tune in. And any comments, we'll answer comments and questions and all of that in the thread. So welcome back.
Yes, thank you. I'm back. Boss Talk LA.
Yes. So one of the things that we wanted to talk about tonight was just like sometimes you hear people say, you'll hear people talk about their relationship, and they might say that the couple is still in the honeymoon phase. And we had an amazing weekend wedding where we had friends from everywhere coming to town to enjoy the weekend with us. We had friends from all the coasts, from the south, the west, the east, everywhere. And we really had a great time with our friends, in addition to the beautiful ceremony that we had and the fun reception. And we had parties all weekend. And then we had brunch with some friends and we jumped on a plane and flew away to Bali. And all that was magical. And now we're back in our regular lives and we're still happy. We're still joyous. And we want to stay that way. We don't want to be that couple that was in the honeymoon phase and then all of a sudden things change. What do you think it is that makes people change once they settle into their real lives and once it's been some time passed since the joys of the and excitement of a wedding ceremony and a reception and all of that? What do you think it is, babe?
It could be,
Look at the people.
Oh, it could be maybe, now the guy has realized there's a bucket head or something like that. I'm just messing with you.
I wish you wouldn't. See, this kind of thing right here, this could be the thing right here.
No, so seriously, so when we first got together, February 19, 2023, my beautiful sister saw the happiness in my life and she said, give it a year. Give it a year. It's just you're in the honeymoon phase. Give it a year. Well, a year came and we were still in the honeymoon phase. Months passed after that, and we're still in the honeymoon phase. And we get married, and we're still in the honeymoon phase. And I guess we, mastered orbiting the honeymoon.
Well, what do you think it is that we're doing? What would you say?
Oh, okay. I don't want to put nobody at. Just my philosophy. I think, well, you can't say intelligence. It's EQ. It's emotional intelligence. That's really what it is. It has nothing to do with your intellect. It has nothing to do with nothing. It's just your emotional quota. How intelligent are you knowing when to back out of a situation, surrender an argument, knowing how far to go, learning your mate, and that's it. That's really it.
Yeah, I think so. I think absolutely. So, I think, a lot of times people will say, well, because I'm a marriage family therapist. And it's like, no, I'm a marriage family therapist because I have mastered some of the things that go with relationship and good relationships. That's what led me to become a marriage family therapist, not just because in all relationships, there has to be some give and take. There can't be always one person who is dominating everything, and there can't be one person who acquiesces to everything. There's a little bit of everything, and I am someone who I enjoy all my relationships, friendships, with my girls, as well as my romantic relationship. And I think that when certain behaviors are prominent when you're getting to know somebody and you're on your best, you put your best face forward, right? And you're behaving really well, and you kind of let go of things very easily. And then as time goes on and you're in the relationship, people stop doing that.
Right. They do. And I caught myself in that, like I had on my best behavior, and then when I got comfortable, I started slipping. And then when I caught myself, I said, no, this isn't the guy that she fell in love with. So I just caught back up with myself and said, hey, and, we would talk like, Billy, that's not the, and I knew what was going on. So that's what I talk about intelligence when it comes to emotions. Know who you are, know your partner, and it's just, you keep happiness. It's really like, I think we're going to be like this until our last breath, basically, because that's just the way it is.
Yeah. I love that. I think because, and I love too that that we listen to one another, because I think that's another really big and important piece to relationship is that people stop listening. When your partner says something, or even times when they don't say it, but they respond in a way with their body language or their eye language or whatever, and you don't listen to it, you ignore it, you don't pay attention to what's happening in the moment, you ignore the fact that something changed in his body language or her body language, or something changed in her eye contact or the way she squinted or whatever when I said or did that thing. Paying attention, you have to be 100% paying attention at all times in a relationship, because when a person, maybe some people are better at actually communicating with words than one partner might be. And in those cases, you have to learn what the person doesn't say, don't you think?
Yeah, like, I don't know. We had a situation, I think a night or two ago, and he got kind of heated. It was a touchy subject, and it was funny because she demands the floor. So she like, you're gonna listen. That because I'm always cutting her off, right? So I just stopped and I listened to her, and I said, like, is that it? She says, yeah, that was the first time you let me finish what I had to say. Now I'm done with it. And I'm
exactly.
Like, oh, okay, we're done with it. And we're good, but she had to get it out. I guess I never let her get it out.
Exactly, which is why we kept revisiting it, though.
Yeah,
and that's the thing, because a lot of times, because we have other experiences coming into this experience, we sometimes, my wedding ring isn't on. We will sometimes, I'll tell you why in a minute. We will sometimes respond to something based on a past relationship experience. And so there was something, and I don't even remember what it was anymore, but whatever it was, every time it would come up, I would try to say something about it, and he would say something, he'd cut me off, and I would shut down. I would just leave it be.
I know
leave it be.
I have an idea what it was.
And
my that thing I talk about, if somebody did this to somebody, I would do this.
Oh, yes. There is, I know, yes. Yeah. We'll come back to that. But when there's a thing and you respond because you're responding out of what's in here and not what's happening out here, and then the other person starts to talk about it, sometimes you can't hear it. You don't recognize it. So that's what we were having. And when we have that, we always go back and say, wait a minute. I a lot of times will say, that's not how I operate in these situations. I don't know what you're accustomed to, but that's not who I am. And so knowing who I am, I would like for you to respond to me and not to your trauma or your drama or your, all that stuff. And we do that a lot because we came into this grown folks, right? So we have had some experiences, each of us, and then we come to this and we find ourselves, going backward. And so we have to, so I think part of it too is pumping the brakes, knowing how to stop and just take a beat and say, wait a minute, what? This didn't feel right. This didn't sound right. And like that.
Right. Because the winner, I mean, if you have to win everything, you're not going to have a good relationship and you're not a good listener.
Right.
That's what I just.
Yeah.
I mean, she understands where I am, but I had to understand her feelings. Mm-hmm. And once I just shut up and listen to her talk so she could get it out and express where she's at, okay, we understand one another.
Yeah.
We still have our positions, but we understand, hey, this is me, this is you. Good. Okay.
Yeah. So I think one way to explain that situation is I am a widow, a very, and so is Billy, but my widowhood, I don't know, my widowhood, I became a widow in 2021. And some of you have walked through that with me, and just really grateful to say, here we are. However, there are still certain things that live inside me that have to do with having had that kind of a loss of someone that I loved very dearly. And so sometimes if I can't reach him by phone, if he goes away and doesn't communicate, and he forgets to turn the doggone phone volume up, right? So the phone is ringing and ringing and ringing. And so I get very agitated. And then, so that's one of the things. And then the other thing is he has this philosophy of what is biblical when it comes to...
we don't have to talk about it.
Yeah. When it just, yeah. But anyway, for me, the position that he takes is a position that is scary to me. And so when he takes that position, I get like, ugh. And so when I finally explained to him the why behind that, because anything that makes me think that it's going to take him away or take him out of, yeah, it mortifies me, it terrifies me. And so I think it's really important to understand, to give space for the person to be able to express that, because it was a long time before I even could connect with it myself. And so once I connected with my own feelings, I was able to impart that to him, but he had to be ready to listen.
Right.
And that's what finally happened.
Yeah,
so
finally listened.
Yeah, that was good. So I think one of the things to say is, when we talk about the honeymoon being the journey, it is that when people are willing to continue the behaviors that made you fall in love, that made you walk down the aisle, that made you go on the honeymoon, that the honeymoon, though our destination for our honeymoon was Bali, we are still on the journey of a honeymoon relationship. And I think that is something that we have both committed to from the beginning, when we said this was going to be a thing, that we were going to stay in the honeymoon phase, and that we were going to live in that place where we were willing to listen, willing to work it out, committed to working it out, because anything else is not an option.
Yeah, I'm thinking of something corny.
Oh God, here we go.
I'm listening to the word honeymoon. And I said, oh, so our moon is made of honey, while other people's moon is full of cheese. It's cheesy.
Yeah, that was cheesy.
So convert your cheesy moon into a honeymoon, and then you'll have a honey bun like me.
This guy right here. I don't know what to tell y'all. I really don't. So if you're out there watching, let us know where you're coming in from, where you're watching from. Are you married, single, in a relationship, in a situationship, in a I don't know ship? You know, what's going on out there in Boss Talk land?
Yeah.
So I think that, even on the honeymoon, I mean, we just really had fun.
We didn't watch no TV.
Zero. And we love TV. I really love TV.
No TV.
None at all.
It was just staring at us.
Yep. And we just talked and giggled and laughed. And we went to, we did a lot of relaxing. Bali is a very relaxing place. I think that's the thing that I come away with the most. It is very peaceful. It's a place of peace and harmony. We even got this beautiful wood carving there, and they carved our name into it while we waited. And it was called The Harmony of Love. And that's kind of how I see Bali, as just this place where the people are so gentle and even and lovely, and there was no conflict that we could see, in the space. It was just a beautiful, beautiful place. The people are humble. Yeah. A lot of them are not of means. They're people who are not rich people. And we were just mortified when we learned that at one of the restaurants that we were eating at, the person that served us thanked us so much for the tip. And he said that they're only getting $3 a day to work as waiters and waitresses in this restaurant. And it was a beautiful restaurant. I mean, the food, we got to select, I selected my own fish out of their tank, and it was a barunda fish or something. And we sat on the beach in front of the shore, in front of the waves, watching the waves come in. And they had this big heart in front of us. And our driver, once again, shout out to Suda. He was amazing, and the best driver in Bali.
Yes.
And so
helped make the trip.
Absolutely, because he took us places. He took us to Zuka, Bali. So you may have seen some of our footage where we were parasailing, sea walking. What's that other thing called? Shooting up in the air with jet water or something. I don't know. It wasn't jet skiing, flying. That's it. That's what they called it. Jet flying. So a stream of water shoots you up into the air, and you go around with this water jet of water holding you up in the air. pretty amazing. And we walked in the we went over to Turtle Island, where they take you out to a certain point and then you walk in the water to the shore. So yes, you're gonna get, your dress is gonna get wet in your pants and whatever else. But
And
you
if
walk
you have
over there.
tender feet, I feel sorry for you.
Tender feet,
Make
like
sure
this
you
way.
have your sandals.
There are rocks and that on the bottom of the ocean at that
If I didn't have my
point
sandals, I would have turned back
were
around.
difficult. And this one, his little pea feet, he's like the princess and the pea. He
That's
couldn't
right.
take it on the bottom
So
of his
good.
feet. He was almost in tears, huh?
I threw my sandals on right in the middle of the ocean.
I did not put mine on simply because, though they were water, proof, I kept sliding off of them, and that was more problematic to me. I didn't want to twist my ankle, so I just walked on them. You just have to be. There's an art to it. Let me just say. Okay. So, what were some of the other things that we did that we really enjoyed on the honeymoon?
Walking the streets.
Yeah, we sometimes would take walks near our place, and we have to shout out also the Puri Sindhu Mirtha Suites, and that was pretty a lovely place to stay. Very clean. We had a beautiful time. Just sitting around the pool. Oh, and we have to shout out Gertie and Raymond from Belgium, who were our neighbors. They actually live in Bali now, and they are going to be there at the place where we stayed until December, and then they'll be off to somewhere else. And so shout out to you guys. Mwah. Thank you. It was great meeting you, and we hope to run across you again sometime on our travels.
And me, I like history and absolute truth.
So yes.
The absolute truth is French fries don't really exist. They're called Belgium fries.
They should be called
Belgium fries. Go on and tell them the history behind that.
So we learned that, and this is something that is like the bane of Raymond's existence, because he's Belgian, and they said that the French actually took the term and called them French fries when they actually came from Belgium in 1945. In Belgium, they started cutting the potatoes in such a way and frying them in such a way that they are what we now today call French fries. And Billy and I love French fries. That's one thing that we have in common. That's one of our favorite things to eat together besides popcorn. And we were talking about them, and they explained to us that they should not be called French fries. And most people in Belgium hate that term because they should be called Belgium fries.
And
so we said from now on, we're going to call them Belgium fries.
Give me some of those BFs, baby.
Who's
Belgium
that?
fries.
Timothy. Hey there. He says, congratulations, Mr. and Mrs. William Sean LeRae Brinkley. I am now Sean LeRae Brinkley Seals. Seals, like a bunch of them in the water. How are you? It's nice to see you. Thanks for tuning in. That is Timothy. You'll have to meet Timothy.
All right.
Oh, you did actually meet Timothy. Timothy was the DJ at Chantel and John's going away party. He played that great music.
Okay.
Remember? Yeah. We were just becoming a thing back then, Timothy. So this is that guy.
This is that thing.
This is that thing that turned into another thing.
Yeah.
Yes. So what else, baby, did we let's talk about the temple.
Well, I'll say this. The one thing that made our trip like pop, our driver, because of I'm not going to talk about his history, but because of his history, everybody knows him, knows his vehicle. The dude literally like pulled up into a restaurant. I'm like, the dude is in the restaurant with his car. And so anybody he brings, they get like royal treatment. Because he brings everybody business, and he has a good reputation. So we'll just leave it at that.
His name is Sudha.
Sudha.
You can look him up on Facebook. Sudhaa. So Sudha, if you are going to Bali, hit me up and I will give you his information.
You need that,
you
brother.
need him because he will take it. He took us to some places that we probably never would have gone. And in fact, I met a woman today because today I went and had lunch with my sweetheart on his at his new location, and we had lunch together today, and that was beautiful. And so when we went, I went to get us some food at Whole Foods, and I was in line, and the lady said, I told her I was coming back from my honeymoon, and she asked me where I went, and I told her Bali, and the lady behind me had gone to Bali, and she said, you know, we were talking about how beautiful it was and everything, and I said we had a great driver, and she said, yeah, you almost need a driver. You almost have to have a driver. So I gave her Sudai's information because he is the man to know. So shout out to Stephanie and Dave, who I got Sudai's information from, and who were also at our wedding and went off to Australia. So I hope you guys are having a wonderful time if you're still there, and can't wait to hear about your travels. So Stephanie is a world traveler. She has a plan to travel around the whole world between this year and the end of next year. And so we'll be joining them on certain little travels, certain trips that they go on to just have some more adventures.
The only thing is we probably won't be traveling around the world, but we will be traveling
across the world.
Yeah.
Just
Okay.
This person here has some very different thinking when it comes to scientific things, and so he does not believe that the world is round, and that's okay. I still love him. It's fine. I have no opinion. It may be flat. I don't care. I'm just going from place to place. I do know that. God, Papa, if you're watching, I try. I don't know what to do with them. He had a whole debate with my godfather. Shout out to Warren Woodbury and Godmama Yolanda. We had dinner with them in Ohio, and these two got into this whole debate about whether the earth was round or flat. So he told us, be careful on your honeymoon that you don't fall off the end of the earth.
It'll be a cold day in Antarctica.
Yeah, betcha. I betcha. So, what else shall we tell the folks tonight? About
Bali?
About anything.
Okay, I'll say this, like, listen, so even politically, we have different views. I'm more independent, right? But even with that, we have our, you know what I'm saying? We have the, I don't know how to explain.
Is it respect?
Honestly, I think it's respect, but it's intelligence. It's really understanding that, I don't know, you know, I didn't get into this, but
well, I think
it's really just understanding, like, it's love. Love is the common denominator, and it will make you reel your philosophies or your stand back. You're like, it ain't worth it. Whoever you vote for ain't worth you destroying the love that you have. It's just like, these people don't, you know what I'm saying?
At the end of the day, they're just going to be doing what they do.
And it's like that with any and everything we encounter. I mean, we have our differences, and she's a good debater. She was like, oh my God, she was beating me in debates. I had to, like, what? How does that happen? I'm always winning when it comes to, you know. Yeah, she would just come with her, and I would have to say, yeah, okay, yeah, that makes,
he asked me if I could let him win an argument.
Yeah, at first, when we first got together, I'm like, hey, can you just let me win? Like, pretend, you know, I know you could win, but just let me win, and just, you know.
That is so funny. Who's that? Sid. Hey, Sydney. She says, I love you too. Work it, Sean and Billy. I love you. Mwah. Me and Sid are going on a date pretty soon in the next few days. We got to go in a week. Are we going away together?
Oh, okay.
To see a play.
Me and John are going.
You always say John. John is in Texas.
Well, we're going.
You going somewhere with somebody. Thanks for tuning in, Sid. I love you. What she said? She said, "Oh, Sean, let him win occasionally." I guess it wouldn't hurt, huh? Just one or two.
Yeah.
It was funny. He's like, "How do you like to debate as much as I do?" I'm like, "Cause I
found out she was on the debate team.
I was.
She debates stuff that don't need no debate. She's just debate just to debate. I'm like, come on.
No, it's not that. It's just that I don't always agree.
You don't never agree. How about that? Jesus. Even, come on. Really? And she'll make an argument.
I will not.
Until she realized, you know what? My argument is weak.
Yeah. My argument is never weak.
After a while, when you start to peel it off, it's like,
wait.
When you get deep into it, it's like,
excuse me.
Yeah.
But I believe that is you. That is you.
No.
Because you have even said when some of the time when I say, "So really, why, Billy? Why?" And you just stop. Yeah. He just has a moment that he doesn't recognize. But I promise you, sometimes he will be going on and on and on, and then he'll just stop, and I'll just be looking at him like, "Really, really, Billy?" And he'll stop, and he recognizes there's no point. There's no point.
Yeah, that's true.
Because I'm probably right.
Yeah, that's.
You look like Mama Jean right now. I do, huh? I can see it. So sometimes Sid, I'll be walking past the mirror and I'll take a look and I'll be like, whoa. I have morphed into my mama. Absolutely. That's where I get the debating from too. She was a pretty good debater.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say.
I'm used to it now.
Well, sometimes I think that whenever there is an issue that really does cause us, either one of us, any kind of distress or upset, I think, again, we are willing to stop and take a beat, because I don't want to hurt him. He doesn't want to hurt me. And I think the things that we recognize, even because we're not even saying that, we're superhuman relationship people in this, because we actually do get to the point where we're upset, or we might lean into some of our past stuff or something, but we stop in the middle. Like, we can stop dead in the middle of it and be like, whoa, wait a minute.
Mm-hmm.
I think a thing for me to recognize and maybe to share is that if you don't feel good in your body about the interaction, you get to stop it. You get to stop it and look at yourself. You get to stop it and maybe ask your partner to take a look at himself or herself, whatever it is. You get to recognize, I think we need to recognize that we are always in control of whatever goes on in a relationship. So sometimes I think we allow ourselves to go outside of our control. And that's when we find ourselves in places that we don't want to be. And also, we never want to get to a place where we can't get back. And so if you're starting to drift apart like this and you stop here, then you only have this much space to get back. But if you get all the way out here in the outer limits, then it's a struggle to get back, and you don't want to miss one another.
So I think our thing is, that's why I talk about EQ, emotional, or EQ.
That's it.
Emotional intelligence, or whatever it is, because you see where it's going, and it's, what difference does it make? Like, I mean, so if you could argue your point, but if it destroys your harmony, come on, really? And it's just like, oh, whatever. Like, it ain't worth it.
It's not.
And I see that, like, if I say something and I'm taking her to, and I look at her like, whoa, I'm pushing her into that, I don't know what you call it.
That zone.
You just stop. It's easy for me. Just put on the brakes, because I love her. And it's just, I don't know what to explain. I don't know how to tell you. It's just, and I think every person should realize that. You could argue like cats and dogs, holler at one another, call one another, if that's what that's what you want to do, but it doesn't build. It doesn't create a long-lasting relationship.
Right.
And if you really truly love one another, and that's I think that's one of the keys, is intuition and knowing this person is on your team. Like she says, I'm Team Billy. It took me a while to really embrace that, because there wasn't no Team Billies when I was in my other previous,
relationships,
situationships. Yeah, situationships that went shipwrecked. It was a ship without a oar or rudder. It was just crazy. So when I got with her, all that baggage was still with me, and she kept reinforcing, Billy, I'm not them. Billy. Finally, it's like, yeah, she's not. She's her own person. And even though, you might get into situations that are similar, she is different.
Yeah.
So that helps me. It just helps me to move on and keep it rolling.
Yeah. Rolling right along.
Yeah.
I love it.
Love you.
I love you.
I love you too.
We are very giggly, I know. So I think, but I really appreciate that. I appreciate your being able to take a look and stop.
I thought you were going to say a beating. You sound like you was going to. I'm glad you could take a beating.
Take a licking and keep on ticking.
Yeah. Yeah, I can. Sometimes she beat me. Hey. I have to I surrender. Yeah, that's sometimes I just stop mid. Yeah, she got me. She out logicked me. She got me. I'm like, how does that happen?
What did Sid say? Sid said, I'm dying. You guys are adorable. Thank you, Sid. But Christina. Hi, Christina. She says, I'm sitting here doing my progress notes and cracking up at this entertainment. Well, at least you're doing those progress notes. I love that. Christina is one of our lovely trainees at the center, and she's amazing therapist in the making right there. Let's see. Who's that? Octavia Smith Beavers. Wait a minute. Thank you for the big congrats. Do I owe you a congrats as well, my dear? I don't know that last name. Talk to me. Tell me something. Thank you.
Okay.
Yes. So I love that you do take a beat. I love that you
go on and say it.
No, take a beat.
Beating. Yeah, go on. Yeah, say it. It's in there. Just say it.
Okay, I love it that you take a beating and you come back swinging. No, but seriously, I love that you take a beat like this and stop and like that we can sort of well, we already know we communicate without words. So sometimes you just know when to
stop.
Yeah.
Boy.
That's right. Well, we got some conversation here. Octavia says the day before you, and yes. No way.
The day before you. And
you got married on the 27th of July?
Oh, congratulations.
Oh my gosh. Congratulations. Oh my gosh. That's amazing. That is amazing. 7/27. Oh my gosh. That is so. See, this is one more thing. Like all the things that kind of have come together around this whole beautiful experience.
Yeah,
has been well. Congratulations, my sister. I love that. We have to catch up. We must catch up. You have to call me. Same number. I love it. We had so many experiences that happened. First of all, I have to say it. I can't say it enough. The whole weekend event. She says, yes, absolutely. Do call. But the weekend turned out exactly as I envisioned it. I could not have asked for more. Even the funny things that happened, the silly little things like, I lost my keys, but I realized that I did not actually lose my keys. I know who left my keys in my car, and I'm going to talk to her and I'm going to tell her it wasn't me, it was you, because I didn't go to the car.
Who was it? I don't know who you was with. You was with a few people.
No, it was somebody that came to the room. got my
English?
keys. No, got my keys and went to the car to put my dress and my second outfit in the car.
I don't know who that is.
Shout out to Nene.
Oh, Nene.
I haven't even told her that. It dawned on me yesterday when I was talking about it, because my keys, I couldn't find my keys the morning we were getting ready to go to Saturday morning. We had gone to the white party, had a wonderful experience and time there. And after the white party, we went back to the hotel. And then Saturday morning, we got up, and at 11 o'clock, we were having the craft and sip, and the wine tasting was going to start at 12. And I went down and was looking for my keys, because somebody, the other couple that had come from out of town was going to ride with me, and I couldn't find my keys. So we just told them they got to ride with someone else. And that's one of the things that I loved too, is people were just like, oh no, just hop in the car with us. And people were going to like get an Uber or whatever. They didn't know them, but they knew that they knew us. And so they were like, oh, just come on. And so that was the kind of loving camaraderie and friendship that I wanted. And we definitely had that. And so we went to the paint and sip, or the dry craft and sip, and the wine tasting. And then we came back for rehearsal, but we couldn't take the things that were in the car over to the venue, which was across the parking lot, because didn't have the keys. So we went to rehearsal, and then we went to the rehearsal dinner, and then we went to karaoke. And then we came back to the hotel, and Billy said, let me just check your car. And he goes over to my car, and the door was open. He just opened it. It wasn't locked. So we were like, this whole time we could have actually taken the stuff out, put it in another car, took it over. But anyway, then I realized my dress was in there the whole time.
Somebody could have.
And my second outfit was in there the whole time.
Somebody could have literally drove the car.
They could have drove the car out,
because the keys was in the door.
Yeah, this is what we discovered. We went up to the hotel that night, and when we got up there, he had forgotten the keys to the room in his car. So he went back down to get it and stopped at the front desk and said, did anybody find any keys? And they were like, oh yeah, somebody found keys. What car? And he told them Alexis, and they said, ding, ding. He said, with a heart on it. And then they gave him the keys, and he said, you left your keys in the car. And so that means that somebody could have just
drove the car off,
been gone with a nice little Lexus. And so that wasn't one of the better things that happened. We have a beautiful sign over here right now, the wedding sign that says, welcome to our wedding. But it was here when we got back because it didn't get delivered in time. But thank God for Chantel and John, because all the other things that didn't get delivered by Wednesday or by Friday morning when we left to go to Oxnard, they picked up from the front door. They came and got all the stuff and brought it to us in Oxnard. So thank you for that. Because but that wasn't here yet. And so we just had so many crazy but funny things that happened. My runner never got used. So it's worthless now because it has.
And we could have used that runner. Because that would have kept your dress a little cleaner. Well,
the train. Yeah. But oh well. And it's worthless now because it has your monogram, my monogram, and in the middle it says to become one. So if we find, we just have to look for somebody getting married that has my initials and your initials. Done. And we can sell it to them and think I was $300. What does Sydney say? Sydney says, I love the advice of using your intuition about pushing the stop button when things are going into that zone. Thank you. Absolutely. For sure. For real. Well, my love, what else you got to talk about?
I hope I never look at her as a stop button.
What is wrong with you? I hope not either. I hope I am always the go button. I love it. Oh. Well, y'all, we have had a good time on here with y'all tonight. Thank you for tuning in. And we are going to be bringing Mr. Seals on every now and then. And So be on the lookout. And when he comes on, we'll move the show back an hour. So also thank you for rolling with me on this hour. When Mr. Seals is going to be on the show, we'll do it at 7:00 so he can get down the freeway from work. And what did Tiffany say? Oh, Christina said, and Tiffany said, I can use it in 5 years. Okay, Tiffany, we'll hold it for you. It's in the trunk. And Christina said, you guys are hilarious. It's so cute. Congrats to you both. Thank you, darling. Thank you so much. Well, y'all, you know what this has been. This has been Boss Talk LA, and that's bold, one of a kind, sensational superstars, and that's each and every one of you. We love you. I'm taking notes. Absolutely. And she says, anniversary party. Use the, there you, girl. See there, that's why I love my peoples. Yes, thank you, Tiffany. I love it. That's what we will do. We will use it for the anniversary party.
Which one?
I don't know. Oh, funny story. So our tape fell over. Boss Talk, that's bold, one of a kind, sensational superstars, and that's each and every one of you. We'll be back on Wednesday at 6:00 Business Week. And please tell a friend, like, comment, subscribe, and definitely share. Shout out to Wayne Lynch for my beautiful theme song. His lovely daughter, Alana.